Wow, what a game. Roller coaster. I guess that's why I'm sweating so much. But I'm really proud of our guys. They hung in there. And two of the main reasons why we won tonight is the first guy on my right, Dante Hall, his defense, the way he finished around the basket, his rebounding. Who told him, did you foul out?
I did.
Who told you to foul out? But it was just exciting to see, his growth and maturation. I'm just awfully proud of him. And then as I shared with the team in the locker room after the game, when I took this job, everybody had an opinion about the players that were going to be returning. And, I heard a lot about Mike, and he's a guy that's worked awfully hard to get his body ready to play at the level that we need him to play. I think he's probably in the best shape now that he's been in for the last couple of years, and that's a tribute to him and the work with Luke Deneen and Clark Holter, our trainer and strength and conditioning coach and trainer. So Mike was unbelievable. Those two dunks, man, were ferocious. I mean, wow. So now I know that he can do that. That's going to be the expectation. But we're awfully happy. We understand it was a rivalry. I feel a little bit different this go around. Hopefully my wife will be happier with me tonight because she obviously said I wasn't a very good coach in the first game. So, but we're excited about this win and protecting our home court. And thank you a million times over to our students and fans that came out, because they were another reason we won this game, pulling the screw when we had a struggle there in the first, well, mainly in the second half.
Thank you, Coach. We'll go ahead and start questions for players. Going right with Cecil.
Just to follow up, Mike, talk about particularly the first dunk, just what you saw, what happened, and sort of your emotions at that time.
Well, they were playing our ball screens. They were trying to keep us on the side. They didn't want us to come to the middle. So we had our game plan set up, and all that happened is I popped in the middle, passed me the ball, and I just knew how to go up there because they strong. They try to foul, so you got to go up there strong. And I mean, it's kind of angry too, but that worked out. So yeah.
Why were you angry?
I don't know, man. It's all been to rivalry. Sometimes it gets personal out there, especially with them. We had to come back strong. We lost down there. We had something to prove. We had our fans out here. So we want to play well for them when they out here. When it's a sellout crowd, it motivates us. And we just play angry, So that's kind of like what happened on that dunk, I think.
Let's go to the right side. We'll go to Alex. I'm sorry, left side. We'll go to Alex.
What were you doing to find success out there? Obviously, several big blocks, timing wise. What were you able to do?
Energy. Had to bring it tonight. Crowd had energy. We had energy. Coaching staff had energy. Had to keep it that way for us tonight.
Stay on the left, Mark.
Yeah, I know, Dante, you played a lot of big minutes there in the second half. Just what has changed for you throughout the season? How you sort of grown?
I grew a lot more. I feel like in my offensive game, rebounding wise, being bigger in the post, blocking shots has been something I've been doing, but I got to keep that constant too.
Other questions for either Dante or Mike? Go to Tyler on the left.
Just for both of the players, Avery said earlier in the week that he embraced the rivalry more maybe. I was wondering if either of you could say anything to that effect of maybe how he coached differently or how he talked differently about this upcoming game.
Mike, why don't you start?
I don't think we approached any other way. We just prepared. Every game's a different game. We just prepared. We got a game plan. We come here. We were ready to play, man. We had a couple hard practices. Monday, Tuesday, we were on a 2-game losing streak, so we had to come back, bounce back. At home, especially, you got to protect the home court. So it wasn't really Auburn. It was really our game. We got to focus on our game, where we can control it. And I think the way we prepared for this game was the difference. I think.
Yeah. The practices, the last two practices we have been pretty tough and great practices. They've been better. Them probably was two of some of our best practices that we had throughout the season. And just keep working hard. That's it.
Do a couple more questions for players. Start with Alex on the left.
For both players, obviously Retton's been doing carrying the team all year, but when he does kind of start to take over, you see some. What did y'all see from him today when y'all were down 10 and he just kind of last 9 minutes really tried to take the game over?
I mean, Redding's our leader, no doubt about it. Sometimes we try to let him do too much, I think. And I think tonight we did a good job of hanging in there as a team. And then, at the end when it got close, Redding just took over. So big credit to him. But it's a team thing too. So I think it really worked out well.
Great point.
Dante, you have anything to follow up?
It's more of a team thing. You gotta have his back as long as he got ours.
All right, stay on the left here to Mark, and we'll have one more for Ken.
Yeah, just for Dante, walk me through that block where you blocked the Dunkerton. That seemed to get you really excited, and also the crowd really excited too.
I just knew I had to go get it. That was my mindset. Go get that. Since I was one man back and he was one man back, I knew I had to go get it, or either it was just 2 points. So I decided I was going to go get that.
Last question, Ken.
Well, you guys mentioned balance. How big were Arthur Edwards' 3-pointers there, or to kind of get you back into it?
Arthur and Riley are two terrific shooters. The last 2 games we kind of couldn't find them, and they went in the rhythm. Tonight Arthur did a great job, man. He had some adversity he was going through, but he found the rhythm. He knocked down those shots, and those shots helped us a lot, obviously. But yeah, he just played his game, and he played to his strengths.
Okay. Thank you, guys. You guys good? Going to take questions for Coach. We'll start with on the right hand, Cecil.
Coach, Redmond had the second foul, and you had to steal, I guess, almost 9 minutes at the end of the first half. And it obviously affected you offensively. What goes into your thinking in those situations as to whether to risk it from keeping him out there or how much to try and go for play?
Well, I was just thinking, if he would have picked up his 3rd foul in the first half, I think, so that would have affected his aggressiveness offensively, not so much defensively. So I was just thinking if we could survive the first half, I was, going to play him the entire second half. He's been playing grueling minutes for us. So I just thought if we could survive and he could be fresh in the second half, that could pay dividends for us. Now, moving forward, is that something I'm going to do every time we're in that situation? No, not necessarily. I think that's just a feel, and fortunately we survived. But, had we gone in to halftime with an 8-point deficit, I'd probably be scratching my head on why I did it. So took a chance on it. Fortunately, worked out for us because we needed that burst of energy. I thought he had more energy in the second half doing certain stretches than anybody on the floor.
Drew?
And Coach, a 2-part question. First, I know going forward with this team, in order to finish the way you want to, you're going to need Riley Norris in his all-around game. He's kind of struggling with his shot. He's the last 2 or 3 games. Is he healthy? And if so, I mean, how do you get him going?
Yeah, he just kind of banged up his hand a little bit, Drew. And the main thing is, not just with Riley, but with all of the guys, I don't like when we drop our heads when something goes wrong or haywire during the course of the game. And he missed a free throw, and it was like the world was coming to an end. And, so I just want to keep encouraging him. He's one of our toughest players. And he'll bounce back. Remember, this is the same guy that made 8 threes in the game. So we at least know he's capable of making at least one.
And in the second part, you're down 44-34. You had the disappointment against Mississippi State where you couldn't get over the hump. What did you guys stress in practice, and what did you think about how they responded tonight?
You know what? That's a great question because I used a lot of P words, P as in Paul, before the game, and one of them was persevere. And another one was about playing single possessions. I think when we came back from LSU, and I don't want to give you a long answer, but when we came back from LSU, our focus changed, okay? Our focus changed to results in the season. What does it all mean? In, out, all that crazy talk. So I talked to them about let's get back to focusing on single possessions in our 4-minute games that we played throughout the course of the game. And we had some down moments in practice, and I was sharing with them even during practice, okay, this is a down cycle in practice. We're down by 10 or 15 points. Now, come on, let's bounce back. What are we going to do about it? So, sorry for the long answer.
Let's go across here to Mark.
Uh-oh, he's back. Tony the King is back.
I know in the second half there you made the choice to go with Dante more before you fouled out, and Mike and Shannon more than Jimmy. What went into that decision and how that worked out for you?
Well, you know, one of the things we've been doing is that haven't been doing as much this year is kind of looking at the analytics of our lineups, and I took a really deep dive into matchups, 5 main groups, 2 main groups, 3 main groups. You know, I did that a lot when I was at Dallas. Of course, Mark Cuban is a big technology analytics guy. But we started doing that, and we saw that Dante plays well on the court, better with some players than others, and Mike, you know, at the 5 position helps us out a little bit in certain situations against small lineups, and we stuck with that a lot more in the second half, and fortunately it paid off for us.
Go all the way in the back here, Dwayne.
Coach, obviously you brought the 2 bigs in and the way they play. How does that change this team when you have the closer like Retton and then those 2 can play up at that level for the rest of the year?
You said the 2 bigs? I'm sorry.
How does that change how good this team could be with those 2 players?
Oh, absolutely, yes. It takes us to a whole nother level when Mike and Dante played, you know, with that type of energy and just finishing inside. You know, Retton draws a lot of attention. And, you know, a game tonight, a low-scoring game, we get 3 guys in double figures. Our last game is basically like Retton was a one-man band. We're not very good when we play that way, as good as he is. So it's good that we got other contributions from other people. And Mike was going to approach double figures. I know he only had 7, but it felt like he had 12 points tonight. So we're a much more balanced team when teams try to trap Retton and other guys can make plays. And Arthur Edwards was just huge for us tonight with some of the threes that he made.
Go back left, Stan.
Coach, continuing Brett, he had 7 points in the last 2 minutes. Just kind of talk about his late points, and especially that 3-pointer, which kind of allows y'all to breathe a little bit again.
Yeah, you know, just sharing with him when he started the second half, he was just lethargic. And I was just telling him he needs to get going. And at the end of the game, I was telling him, keep the ball in your hands and make something happen. Make 2 or 3 guys double team you. But, you know, we're fortunate. You know, we played against a scrappy team, in-state rival. I don't think I said that enough the first time we played, an in-state rival. And from what I've seen now, being here for such a short time, it's every sport. It's a rivalry, okay? I'm admitting it to you guys. I'm not denying it anymore.
So 2 or 3 more questions. Let's start with Matt on the right.
Hey, Avery, 2 questions for you. First of all, defensively, they made their first 8 shots in the second half and then left no, like the final 14. What changed for you guys defensively in the second question? Who signed the net again?
Okay. We did a much better job coming out of timeouts getting our matchup situated. Before the game, we wanted certain guys to be matched up against other guys on their team. We got discombobulated there for a minute, which was really disappointing. So Bob Simon, our associate head coach, we had a long talk about it doing one stretch in the game, and we have to get our matchups down. And we finally got it right. And fortunately, they missed some free throws. We missed some free throws. We fouled the guys that we wanted to foul when we got in the bind. So I think matchups were a big key for us because we really needed to slow down Lane, and I thought we did a terrific job on him. Michael Kessler signed it back tonight.
Let's go to the last 2 questions. We'll start with Alex, and then we'll go to Perry. Alex on the left.
Obviously, Dante kind of mentioned earlier, but you riding the energy tonight. You all have done a good and bad job at certain times of kind of handling the emotion. Obviously, not the last 2 games you didn't really handle those emotions. This is one you did. Just can you speak to that, how the team really just handled that?
Yeah, you know, we've been talking a lot about the emotions, and I told the players coming into the game, no matter what the other team did, I didn't want anybody talking to the opposing players. I don't want you to get a technical. We're not talking to the referees. We're just going to play. Let your game do the talking. And that's a part of maturing and handling the emotions of a game of this magnitude.
Last question for our left, Terry.
Coach, I know you mentioned the threes that Arthur made, but another play he made for you was the steal and the dunk to tie the game with about 5:40 to go. Talk about the importance of that, because you've been down 10 minutes before that.
Yeah, he was just a disobedient child, because I'm often talking to him about stop gambling, Arthur. You know, stop reaching, Arthur. I'm glad he did it, okay? But, you know, Arthur bounced back for us. We obviously need his production on the floor. You know, recently, I guess in the last game or so, we had a game where he and Ronnie combined for, 2 points or something? We're not going to be very good doing that. Arthur's had an outstanding year for us. We would not be the team we are this year had Arthur Edwards not decided to come and play here this year. So he means a lot to us on both ends of the floor. The players, you know, we went through some grueling practices the last 2 days. Fortunately, we had some energy left in the tank for the game. You know, we'll be off tomorrow, and then we're going to get back to work on Monday, because we got this last game at home means an awful lot to us. Our fans have been great to us this year. We're learning now how to play in front of a pack house at home. That's something else that's a step in the right direction.
Thank you.